Hello everybody, Lewis Karras with Tactical Response. Thank you for watching. Today we'll be talking about the Enigma Express. I got one of them for my shield. I was getting a lot of questions from students showing up to class that either had them or were thinking about getting them, weren't sure exactly where this holster kind of fit. Is it an everyday kind of holster, or is it more special purpose than that? My interest in it personally was as a replacement option in my mind for this. Now this is a smart carry holster. It does not come with the Kydex. I have a Kydex holster with an ulti-clip in there because retention is a big thing for me. This is the rig that I wear when going on a run. Like I can wear gym shorts and no shirt and just drop everything below the pant line, and very comfortable to run in. There's even a pocket for a cell phone. I guess before I continue, I should mention I'm not sponsored by or have been bribed by any of these companies to say anything good about their product or say anything bad about anyone else's product. These are just my opinions through my use of these holsters. So this has worked out very well as an athletic holster for me, something that I can wear while running with my dog. It also has a spot for a spare magazine. It is cloth, so it does get covered in sweat and kind of nasty. So I thought that the Enigma Express, being all Kydex and some form of carbon fiber with just a nylon strap, would potentially be able to fill that role without the negatives of that cloth kind of absorbing all the sweat while I'm wearing it, doing sweaty things. So I got the Enigma Express in, and I had a few initial thoughts on it. The first of which was the retention. I think the retention on these holsters is a little loose, at least on mine. It's not adjustable retention. So these screws here mount the claw to the holster and mount the plate to the holster, but they do not affect retention. Retention is held by this little push in on the trigger guard that is on both sides. So this is a mirror image holster. So it's not adjustable retention. So holding it in a spot where I'm not affecting the retention of the holster, you can see she kind of falls out. That is in contrast to what I had been wearing my shield in. This is a NSR Lady Special. It has mag carrier attached with shock cord and ulti-clip XL, so it can be worn over a belt. But you can see like that is not going anywhere until I want it. So I think we could have been a little bit more retention. Don't worry, it's loaded. A little bit more retention is desirable for me in a holster of any kind. So my second initial thought was about this buckle. And I believe this is different, a smaller one than is on the standard Enigma, but the buckle that's on the Enigma Express, I was very hesitant when I saw it in other videos. but I cannot get it to disconnect without pulling the cord that disconnects it. So you can see this cord opens that, which somehow breaks the magnetic contact, but these teeth hook in there very well. So like I said, I've tried to get it out without pulling on that and can't get it done. So I can say I do trust this buckle that they include with it. So that is a very good mounting system. It's quick and easy to be put on. It only goes on correctly. And I just thought that was a very, very cool feature, and something I had not seen before. Another thing that I noticed kind of off the bat the first time that I wore it was that where I set the gun, my pants started to ride up. Normally, using a more standard style holster mounted to your belt or to your pants, it will pull them. You basically maintain the distance from the pant line to your grip, which allows you to get your hand in for a draw. So I noticed that my pants did ride up and somewhat block the grip from a good draw. For the first 2 weeks I wore it, my idea was to wear it as it came out of the box. I didn't want to start trying to customize it until I gave it a fair shake and had 2 weeks of actually wearing it, because as you change holsters, it's gonna feel different than the last holster you had. And if you start changing things right away to try and make it feel like that other one, you may miss the benefits of the new one. So I wore it for 2 weeks without making any changes. And again, it did seem that when I was wearing pants with a belt, or any pants that I was wearing with this inside the waistband, that waistband would creep up on me. I have seen videos where people have installed discrete carry concepts, I believe is what it's called, clip that kind of matches the height of this, which would then clip over the pant or belt and keep that offset from the pant line to the grip. I did find there were times when I wanted my pant line to be up higher, to give me even further concealment and reduce the printing. That being said, I would definitely recommend going on PHLster's YouTube channel. And there's another YouTube channel called Armed and Styled. And between those two channels, their videos on concealment are very good. If you conceal a gun, you should probably watch some of that content. And it may bring new ideas to you. For instance, they speak about something called the Keel principle, meaning the more gun or holster you have below the pant line, the more you can get it to want to tilt this way in. Whereas if you don't have much below the belt line, it's going to want to flop out and be a problem with your printing. So after my initial 2 week wearing it as it came out of the box, I realized I was going to make some customization to it. So I swapped the claw for the larger one that it came with. That helped tuck the grip in towards my body. And then I fashioned out of a yoga block this hump using some Velcro. So we're gonna leave it on there. It likes being there. But using Velcro, I wasn't sure if this was the exact shape I was going to want. It ended up working very well. And you can see I have a majority of the hump down below where the line is. So that helps push everything, and it's only in the corner up here. So that gives me a little bit more grip tuck as well as slide tuck. So it turns it this way and brings it back in to me, which allows for very deep concealment. They speak about on those the channels I mentioned how to find a different spot that may conceal the gun even better. I was trying to wear it kind of where I always carry my gun, but being that it is separate from your belt, it does allow that flexibility. So if you're wearing scrubs or whatever you are wearing, you can come higher than you normally would and maybe find a nook where you can get it in and maximize your concealment. Okay, so I'm wearing a belt right now, and you can see the edge of the Enigma plate running right along the edge of the pants, which allows for the ability to grab and draw pretty easily. However, it does print just a little bit more. Again, going to the keel principle, if we get this up here or run the Enigma a little lower, I can achieve more concealability. But that's going to cost me when it comes to a draw stroke. So these are things that we can train for. So should I need to be at this level of concealment, I would know that I would need to kind of get my pants out of the way to be able to get that draw. But it does allow for that deep concealment. About 1 week into wearing this as my main holster, I had to take a 16-hour drive. About 7 hours into the ride, I had to take it off. It just was not comfortable. I'm used to carrying appendix. I carry with a pretty loose belt, and that allows me to kind of move it around as I drive. This didn't allow me that flexibility, because once I kind of cinch it down under the pants, it's kind of there, especially with the wedge doing its thing. It kind of acts as an anchor point, so it was hard for me to kind of move it while driving into a comfortable position. So I did have to take it off. So if you're spending a lot of time in the car, you may have to play with a different spot where it is comfortable for you to drive with on, or a different method of carry for in the vehicle. So another thing I found the Enigma Express very useful for was kind of on my way to the gym, lounging around the house, a way that I was wearing it was just by not even worrying about concealing under my bottom garment, but kind of doing it like that. This way I don't have to worry about being able to get to and have an efficient draw. You could see here that the waistband on the shorts would be basically blocking me from getting my hand on the grip. Having it on the outside lets me not worry about that, keep my shorts where they would normally be, run this a little bit lower, which is very concealed this way. So you can see even with a tight shirt on, very concealed for basically an open carry. holster are outside the waistband. So using the Enigma as an outside the waistband but concealable holster. And then we have just an issue of the strap, which can be shortened once you find the length that works for you, or just tucked over and in. So there we are, fairly concealed. My gym has a pretty loose gun policy, so I'm able to go ahead and just take mine off and leave it somewhere in the gym while I'm working out within arm's reach. But I understand some people want to know how to work out with a gun on them. I think this does make it possible. Again, kind of concealing that. And down here, if we tuck the strap in, don't let that be the thing that prints, but we can get pretty damn concealed and still have full range of motion to do kind of anything you might need to do in the gym, squats, deadlifts, really anything, and you can still do it with the Enigma Express. So as I said, somewhere between week 1 and 2, I started getting comfortable with the Enigma Express as it came out of the box. It still wasn't concealing quite, I don't want to say as advertised, because I didn't make changes to it to make it more concealable. But it wasn't the hidden thing that I thought it was going to be out of the box. It did take some customization to get there, and now I do believe it is a very, very concealable option for me. I've kind of got it dialed in. So I always would urge you to take time to try and get used to the equipment, and then make your customizations to it to make it used to you. I've enjoyed carrying it. It will stay in my rotation. It's very convenient whether I'm wearing sweatpants and walking the dog, or on my way to the gym, or just walking around the house, going to answer a door. It's easy on, off, and all you have to do is really drape a shirt over it. Are there any questions that you still have about the Enigma Express that I may be able to answer? Go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what your favorite holster is for deep concealment. Are there other options out there that I should be looking for? I think it's a viable option, especially if you're carrying a gun on you everywhere, and some places may be less than permissive. Concealment may not be enough. You may want covert. So I think the Enigma Express allows for that, and definitely would recommend it. All right, so let's say that you think this could be a piece of equipment you would like. So you go to the PHLster website, and what you will see is that there is an Enigma and an Enigma Express. The question you're going to have is, which one do you want? The answer is, if they make the Enigma Express for your gun, get that. Right now, there's a limited number of guns that they're making it for. And the difference between the Enigma Express and the Enigma is that the Enigma is just the plate system. And it is adjustable. It's 3 pieces of this carbon fiber. It's a bit wider larger and has a lot of adjustment. It has that adjustment so that you can use your holster or most holsters on it. Again, that you can go to the website to find out exactly if your holster will fit. Generally, if it has a claw on it or the holes for a claw, it should mount up. So if you have a Accu-Tac TP9, they're probably not making the Enigma Express for it yet. But you can get a Accu-Tac TP9 holster from anywhere and mount it to that system. So in that case, you've got some kind of weird Whackmaster 9000, then you're going to want the Enigma. If you have, let's see, I know they make it for the 365, the Shield, the Glock 48. They just started making them for the 2.0 compact M&Ps. So there are quite a few guns that they're offering the Express for. I'm guessing more to follow, but that would be the differentiation between those two things. Well, again, everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you found this somewhat informative. Maybe it helps you or someone you know about. Feel free to share this video. Give me a thumbs up. If you think I'm doing a decent job, go ahead and give me a thumbs down if you're an asshole. Either way, I'd love to interact with you. If you have any questions, post in the comments. If you'd like to see a more in-depth review of either of these things, just go ahead and mention that down there in the comments. And remember that your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends.